Hi, welcome to the Law-Abiding American. Yesterday I did a video on the Second Amendment. In re-reviewing it after I posted it, I found something that might have been misconstrued. So I do apologize, but I'm redoing this video. I am coming to you today with my opinion regarding the Second Amendment and what I understand from what I have read and learned. The Second Amendment, let me go ahead and read that to you so we understand what we're looking at, reads as a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment means that every able-bodied man who wishes to carry firearms to protect themselves, the state, their country, against any kind of terrorist, war, or oppression has the right to do so. Now, the Second Amendment was written right after our forefathers fought the Revolutionary War because they understood what an oppressive government can do. Now, we see many representatives, which pretty much all Democrats and maybe a few Republicans, we know them as rhinos, create laws against the United States Constitution's Second Amendment. Now, these laws are in direct violation of it because after reading this Second Amendment to you and going through the United States Constitution, researching it, I have found nowhere in there where it states what firearms American citizens can have. Nowhere. What does this mean? That means every man that wants to possess a firearm is entitled to own any firearm they want because it's not limited. There's no limits to what kind of handgun, what kind of rifle, or anything of that nature. I mean, if a person wants to buy a rocket launcher, they could, or a bazooka, they could, because the Second Amendment does not limit that. But in our society, is that something that somebody may want to own? Who knows? I don't know. But it's not something that's really reasonable, is it? So, but it still does not take away the right to own that. Now, we get a lot of politicians that are taking away these rights or attempting to. What are they doing? They are violating their oath of office, okay? Now, when they take an oath of office, they swear to uphold the United States Constitution in its entirety, not just bits and pieces, not what they agree to, in its entirety. Now, your state representatives may also uphold a state constitution, which is fine, which usually follows the federal constitution. Now, when they talk about assault weapons, what's an assault weapon? Is it a rifle? Is it a gun? What is it? An assault weapon is anything someone will use in their hands or feet or whatever to hurt somebody or kill them. It could be a book, it could be a stick, it could be a rock, it could be a car, it could be a television, it could be whatever. Anything a person could pick up and use as a weapon. It's not just a gun. Now, the only true gun that was actually classified as an assault weapon was by Adolf Hitler for one of their machine guns. I can't remember, I think it was called a Sturmgewehr. That is the only weapon that was ever classified by a leadership as an assault weapon. AR and AR-15 does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite Rifle Company. Okay? The AR-15 is one very good defense weapon for all Americans. Now, when these politicians and representatives start coming up with these laws and violating their oath of office, we the people have a duty to stop this because we don't want people that are representing us going into office and taking away our rights. With this being said, I'd like to read this to you. This is from the Declaration of Independence, so bear with me for just a moment. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of the nature's God entitled them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to ensure these rights, governments are instituted among men, derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizations, its powers, in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Now, our politicians of lately have done everything they can to ban weapons. They violated their oath of office. Why? Because they don't want to go to the root of the problem, and that is the criminal. Too many times I see judges and politicians coming up with either turning these criminals loose or making it so there's no punishment involved, whatnot. That is not the way to do it. When somebody commits a violent crime, they should be immediately punished. We don't want to stand for this. For example, if, let's say, somebody assaulted a police officer, my opinion is they should be tried, convicted, and sentenced within 3 days. If they kill a police officer, tried and sentenced and committed to death, 3 days. Don't quit messing around with it. You want to stop crime, you got to make it start hurting. As long as we coddle and punish and do nothing to these criminals, not going to get fixed. Now, going back to our politicians and those trying to take away our laws. We, the people, need to start standing up and saying, hey, we don't want our laws changed. We are the government, not those people that represent it. We are. We need to tell these people that if they do this, they're violating their oath of office, and we are going to legally have them removed from office because we don't want them there because they're not representing us as a whole. Now, I know that the majority of people out here do not want their firearms taken from them. They don't want them restricted. And that is what this country is based and founded upon. The NFA and the ATF, they need to be abolished, especially when it comes to firearms. People are entitled to it. You want to stop crime? Got to make it hurt the criminals. Now, I do appreciate your time in listening to this, but there is one other thing I want to bring to your attention. I've kind of followed the Virginia lawmakers lately. They have passed a severe ban on firearms. But when you look at that legislature over there, most of these are people from other countries with other values other than American values. We got to stop this. We need to legally remove those from office, especially if they're violating their oath of office to uphold, support, and defend the United States Constitution, because that includes the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. And if they don't want to do it, they're gone. They immediately lose their ability to serve by either submitting or passing a law that goes in violation of the United States Constitution. And right now, every gun law on the book does that. Now, there are some situations I could say, okay, yeah, we might need a law, like for people who do commit violent crimes. As far as I'm concerned, once you do that, you have lost your rights to any firearm whatsoever. And you should not ever get them back. And that is the way we need to deal with criminals. So if you really want to insist upon taking away assault weapons, you might as well ban everything. Make everybody run around naked. Nobody can live in houses. Nobody can have anything. Nobody can have cars. Nobody can have books. Nobody can have pencils. Nobody can have pens. Everything can be used as an assault weapon. Doesn't matter. It all boils down to one thing. The root of the problem, people. When you get evil people out there, when you get people that are brainwashed because they don't want to learn the truth about what's going on in their country, there's where your problem is. That's what you need to go after to get it resolved. But when you come after our guns, you are violating your oath of office, and we need that to stop. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed what I just brought to you. Thank you for watching in on the Law Abiding American. If you like my channel, please subscribe and press that like button. Thank you.